I'm going to read a story new to you about a guy whose heart never quite grew. Come, sit very close. I know we'll all have fun. Do you know the name of the mean old one? I'll bet you do. This one's a cinch. He's mean, he's green, and they call him the Grinch. Now I'll need some help to play all the parts of the mean old Grinch and his companion that barks. So raise your hands to make it easy to choose. And the rest of you will play our honorary Who's. First, I need a Grinch. Who wants to be Mr. Grinch? Raise your hands nice and tall. Did you find Mr. Grinch? Hi, Mr. Grinch, come on up. Now, who will be our Max the dog? Ooh, right over here in a pretty flower sweater. Do you want to be Max the dog? Come on up. Ooh, you can be one of our honorary Who's. We need 3 honorary Who's. Who else wants to be a Who? Right over here with the pink jacket. And right over here. Hi, come on up. And what about this friend right here? Come on over. You guys look so fantastic. Would you like to be a Who? Raise your hand. Nice and high. Come on up. This is so exciting. This is your big break. Everyone give them a round of applause. What's your name? Hi. It's so nice to meet you, Rudy. Can you give us your loudest laugh, just like the Grinch? And what's your name? Kaylee, can you give me your most ferocious bark? Ooh, very nice, Kaylee. Hi, what are your names? Layla, Michaela, and Emily. Can you give me your happiest and loudest hooray? Splendiferous. Okay, everyone, it's time to set the scene. Now, Max and Grinch will sit right over here in our imaginary Mount Crumpet. And my honorary Who helpers, hello, will be right over here in our imaginary Whoville. So now here is the book of Who that is new. Have fun and enjoy while my friends act on cue. Action! How the Grinch Stole Christmas by Dr. Seuss. Every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot. But the Grinch, who lived just north of Whoville, did not. The Grinch hated Christmas the whole Christmas season. Now please, don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right. It could be perhaps that his shoes were too tight. But I think the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small. For he knew every Who down in Whoville beneath was busy now hanging their mistletoe wreath. And they're hanging their stockings, he snarled with a sneer. Tomorrow is Christmas, it's practically here. Then he growled with his Grinch fingers nervously drumming. I must find some way to keep Christmas from coming. Then he got an idea, an awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea. I know just what to do, the Grinch laughed in his throat. I'll make a quick Santa Claus hat and a coat. Then he chuckled and chuckled. What a great Grinchy trick. With this coat and this hat, I'll look just like Saint Nick. All I need is a reindeer. The Grinch looked around. But since reindeers are scarce, there was none to be found. Did that stop the Grinch? The Grinch simply said. If I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead. So he took his dog Max, and he took some black thread, and he tied a big horn on top of his head. Then he loaded some bags and some old empty sacks on a ramshackle sleigh, and he hitched up old Max. Then the Grinch said, giddy up. And the sleigh started down toward the homes where the Who lay a snooze in their town. He slid down the chimney, a rather tight pinch, but if Santa could do it, then so could the Grinch. And he slithered and slunk with a smile most unpleasant around skates, drums, checkerboards, tricycles, popcorn, and plums. He cleaned up his box as quick as a flash. Why, the Grinch even took the last can of Who Hash. Then he stuffed all the food up the chimney with glee. Now, grinned the Grinch, I'll stuff up the tree. He did the same thing to the other Who's houses, leaving crumbs much too small for the other Who's mouses. It was 1:15, all the Who's still abed, all the Who's still a snooze when he packed up his sled. 3,000 feet up the side of Mount Crumpet, he rode with his load to the tip-top to dump it. Pooh-pooh to the Who's. He was Grinchishly humming. They're finding out now that no Christmas is coming. They're just waking up. I know just what they'll do. Their mouths will hang open a minute or two. Then the Who's down in Whoville will all cry. Boo-hoo. That's a noise, grinned the Grinch, that I simply must hear. So he paused, and the Grinch put a hand to his ear. And he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started in low, and then it started to grow. But this sound wasn't sad. Why, this sound sounded glad. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing without any presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came. Somehow or other, it came just the same. Then the Grinch, with his Grinch feet ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling. How could it be so? It came without ribbons. It came without tags. It came without packages, boxes, or bags. Then he puzzled and puzzled till his puzzler was sore, and the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more. And what happened then? Well, in Whoville, they say, the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day. And then the true meaning of Christmas came through, and the Grinch found the strength of 10 Grinches plus 2. With a smile in his soul, he descended Mount Crumpet, cheerily blowing hoo-hoo on his trumpet. He rode into Whoville. He brought back their toys. He brought back their floof to the Who girls and boys. He brought everything back. All the food for the feast. And he himself, the Grinch, carved the roast feast. Welcome, Christmas. Bring your cheer. Cheer to all Who's far and near. Christmas Day is in our grasp, so long as we have hands to clasp. Christmas Day will always be, just as long as we have we. Welcome, Christmas, as we stand, heart to heart and hand in hand. How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the end. Yay! I've had quite a blast, and I hope you all had fun. Let's thank our elves for helping me choose. Grinch Claus! Hey, Mr. Grinch! And Max! Yay, Max! And our honorary Who's! Let's give them all a big round of applause! Hooray! To the small and the tall, have a happy Who Day and Merry Grinchmas to you all! Happy Whobilation! Good job, everybody! Good job! You guys were amazing! Bye, everyone! And now, we'd like to meet all of you. So meet us by the taxi and we'll take a picture or two. Bye, everyone!